Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Dream Finders Homes, Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, and Bowden Eye and Associates.
Hello and welcome into Armada Kickoff. The Armada are entering the final stretch of the season with 6 of the last 8 matches this year at home, including 2 in the next 6 days. And they're doing so coming off 5 goals in their last 2 matches. It appears that things are starting to click with the Armada attack. We'll take a closer look. Mauricio Ruiz returns to the Armada Bootroom. Andy Kidd will also join us on the Analyst Roundtable. But let's start with this past Saturday's first ever trip to Puerto Rico. Playing on the island can be difficult. First, there are the distractions of traveling to a place that usually is reserved for vacations. Then there's the difficulty of playing against Puerto Rico FC, a big physical team. Add to that a passionate and loud fan base, and it's not easy to win on the island.
First ever visit to the island for the Armada, and they would find it, well, semi-hospitable. 3rd minute, though, not hospitable at all. On a long ball played ahead, Pito Ramos, the flick-on header, and look at the bring down here by Jackie Marrero, the Puerto Rico national team player, puts it away with the left foot. Take another look again, just beautiful pullback here, and then the left foot got it by Sean Lewis, 1-0. Later in the half, though, the Armada respond. We'll show you more on this goal here in just a bit. It's Charles Ilundu, his 4th goal of the season. Beautiful one-touch delivery by Matt Boehner. There's a lot of good in this goal in general. The Armada level it at 1, and Ilundu can celebrate with some traveling members of Section 904. Later in the half, though, didn't take long for Puerto Rico to equalize. The Brazilian Oliver Minatel puts it away. 57th minute now, second half. On the corner, it's headed out, and Mishak Jerome with a wonder strike. Watch this thing. He's falling away and actually has to reach back with his foot, and he still gets enough on it to get it over and in. Mishak's first goal of the season for the Armada, and it came not on a free kick, but in the run of play. 83rd minute. Tied at 2. When Keita takes over. He came in as a sub. Look at his beautiful curling ball. Keita would say he felt like it was going to be the game winner. And at this point, it looked like it might be, as Keita scores his 4th goal of the season in NASL competition, 5th goal across all competitions for the Armada. But just a couple of minutes later, the Armada don't hang on to it. Late in the contest, Puerto Rico able to equalize. Sidney Rivera does the damage to equalize. 3-3 at that point. And that's the way it would end. The Armada took a couple of knocks late, including this one. Sean Lewis got it right in the kisser. The Armada and Puerto Rico FC end in a 3-3 draw.
You take a look at the stats from Saturday's match. A little favoring the Armada here, by and large, with more shots, 1 more shot on goal, more corners. But pretty even game all the way around. It's one the Armada will want to have back. They had a 3-2 lead after Keita's goal in the 83rd minute and couldn't hang on. Now let's convene the Analyst Roundtable presented by Subway.
Players that you can switch around, and we're going to be very strong.
We saw a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups.
All right, welcome in the Analyst Roundtable presented by Subway. Mauricio Ruiz, David Hayes. Okay, guys, 5 goals in the last 2 matches for the Armada. David, what's been the difference?
I mean, I think the players are understanding their roles a little bit. I think Mark has simplified the game through training sessions, I think. That's what it looks like from the outside. But if you take JJ, Ilandu, Steinberger, all these guys, and I have to give a shout out to Gebhard, which is from Maryland, all these guys, they're exciting to watch, and they're just going out there and playing. So I think that's the big difference. They simplified the game, and now they're attacking a little bit better.
Well, and I think because of that, there's a consistency in lineup as well. You can see even when they're alternating and try to save legs, there's a consistency where players are going on the field, the formation that they're playing, and then the relationships start building. So it's natural now you start seeing tendency of players, and it's only a process that the end result will start coming.
All right, 6 of the last 8 matches are at home. What do you want to see the rest of the year?
Well, I think it's positive that they get to be a little more comfortable, more training opportunities, playing some tough teams, and a little bit more of that consistency, and hopefully some more goals will start coming in, and that will result in some more wins.
Yeah, the consistency. I want to see combining, goals with shutouts, but it's going to be difficult because a lot of the teams are in the top 4 besides Rio and Rowdy. So I think out of 24 possible points, I think 12 to 15 would be a success.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Mark Lowry talked about going in was he wanted every game for the Armada to be competitive. So far they have been. We'll see if that keeps up here over the last 8. Guys, thanks so much. More for you coming up in just a bit. Let's take a closer look now at the Armada and the way the goals are coming. As we mentioned, they've scored 5 goals in the last 2 matches. Here's the thoughts from Mark Lowry in Coach's Corner, presented by Asana Wellness Center, the official training facility of the Jacksonville Armada.
You know, our approach play, building out from the goalkeeper, whether it's Sean or Miguel in goal, has been good. You know, we're playing out of some tight situations, and if we can control the ball like that, if we can maintain the possession, that gives us a great chance of winning games and scoring goals. So I think that's a big part of it. You look at our first goal against Puerto Rico, we built from the back, played through the thirds, got a good run in behind from Bain and a great finish from Charles. That's the type of football we're trying to play. So the more we can do that, the more we can maintain control of the game with our use of the ball, then we believe we're going to create chances.
One of the things you've talked about is the challenge of keeping everybody happy on a large roster. Sometimes it's about keeping everybody involved when they're out there. You had 8 guys who touched the ball on that goal.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's the way we like to play. We like to move the ball quickly between each other. We just spoke at the end of training about just trusting each other. You know, give your teammate the ball and trust that he's going to take care of it, and just be there to support him, to take it back off him if he needs you. So, you know, we like to play through the thirds. We like to play through the team. We like to be able to go at both sides of the field. You know, so we're getting better at it each day. We work on it, you know, on a regular basis, and it's definitely going to be the foundation of the way we want to play going forward, I think.
You'll certainly know what to expect from Rayo OKC this week. Just a couple weeks you saw them. Do you expect any changes?
No, not from them. You know, they've been actually, even though their results haven't been fantastic over the last 8 or 9 games, they've been playing a good style of soccer, and I think they're playing well. You know, I said before we played them in the last game that the couple of games they lost before they played us, they should have won. They were the better team. It's as simple as that. And they got, you know, some unfortunate bounces, some unfortunate luck, and they're a good team. They've got good players. They're well coached. They're well organised. So we know what we're going into. It's going to be a tough game whether we're home or away. But like I say every week, and I maintain it, even though, you know, the results on the road weren't what we wanted, we can win any game we play, and I think we're showing that now.
All right, let's take a closer look at those 3 goals scored by the Armada Saturday in Puerto Rico. It's the first time that Jacksonville has scored 3 goals in an NASL fixture since last October, and they were all beauties.
Out ahead. It started with as pretty a goal as you'll ever see. 8 Armada players played a role, and Charles Ilundu finished it.
Yeah, the best moment for the soccer to feeling good, because when you work hard and then you deserve something, you know. That's why we work every day on the practice with the coach. Every time 2 touch, 1 touch, and then we finish. When we have the fun with us, we can do a good thing, you know. So we need support from the fans. So that's why every time when I score, I try to go celebrate with them.
Meshach Jerome's blast earned a candidacy as NASL Play of the Week, and it certainly gives the Haitian defender more confidence.
Yeah, it was difficult, but I have to take a step back to hit it. At first, I'm taking to take a touch, but I say if I take a touch, I see someone come so hard on me, and I take my chances, and one time, and I score.
And as for the last one, Keita, a goal scorer, scores a goal. What a curling shot this was. Keita sees big things ahead for the Armada now that the attack seems to be figured out.
Things getting good. It's just a matter of time, you know. Soccer is just like that. Sometimes, you know, things just happen crazy, you know. We keep moving, keep doing great things. And I'm very sure this team will be a good team in this. Maybe not this year, but next season, they're going to be very good.
All right, here's what the Armada have coming up this weekend. Rayo OKC, it is Hispanic Heritage Night. And then Wednesday, it's Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Dollar beers for the Armada taking on FC Edmonton at Community First Park. After a trip to Minnesota to face the United, it's back home against Indy 11 on Saturday, October the 8th. Single match tickets are available by calling 844-2-ARMADA or by going online to armadafc.com. 3 Florida teams are all within 4 points of the top 4. We'll go around the NASL straight ahead. Plus, Mauricio Ruiz returns to the Armada Bootroom. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff straight ahead.
To enter for your chance to participate in the Winn-Dixie Bubble Battle, visit your nearest Winn-Dixie in your Armada gear, take a selfie, and post it to any of the Armada social media using the hashtag WinnDixieBB. 2 winners will be selected every Wednesday during a home match week. Assemble a team of 3, and you're ready for battle.
Home teams controlled things again in the NASL, but there was one particularly surprising result. Let's go around the NASL, presented by Nike.
Let's start in New York, where the Cosmos extended their home unbeaten streak to 16 games, but it wasn't easy. Edmonton came in a 0-0 draw thanks to Matt Van Oekel. 2 big saves in the waning seconds of the second half. A 0-0 final. Indy 11 kept their home unbeaten streak alive, 15 straight going back to the tail end of last year. Dylan Mares and Don Smart both scoring for Indy 11 in a 2-1 win over Miami FC. Ottawa Fury, Minnesota United. Ottawa scoring 2 goals in the game's final 6 minutes. Ryan Williams with the header, and Danny Mwanga giving the Fury their first lead of the night, a 3-2 victory over Minnesota United. Tampa Bay Rowdies ran their unbeaten streak to 4 games, a 1-0 victory over the Carolina Railhawks. Eric Avalo scoring the game's only goal in the 22nd minute. Rayo OKC, Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Strikers now unbeaten in their last 7 after a 1-1 draw with Rayo OKC in Oklahoma City. Maicon Santos scoring for Fort Lauderdale, but it was Michel equalizing with a late penalty kick for Rayo.
All right, here are the standings in the fall season in the North American Soccer League. Remember, Indy 11's already clinched a spot in the postseason. New York Cosmos, if they win the fall, they would be in to defend their NASL title. However, combined season standings look a little different. The Cosmos on top, so just assume that it's going to be Cosmos and Indy 11 for the time being. You have FC Edmonton in very good position there with 43 points. Then the 4th team, Minnesota United, they would be in if the season ended today. But look at the other Florida teams, Miami FC, Tampa Bay Rowdies, Fort Lauderdale Strikers, all with identical records, 8 wins, 8 draws, 8 losses, 32 points, all within striking distance of Minnesota United, and Rayo OKC right behind. That's the Armada's opponent this weekend. Now let's head to the Armada Bootroom, presented by MTech. All right, here in the Armada Bootroom, Mauricio Ruiz back at it. We're going to take a look at just 2 plays and see how those sort of illustrate the kind of change and development, I think, of the identity of the Armada that you're seeing here since Mark Lowry took over.
Well, I think that's the thing that's been probably the most relevant since Mark Lowry has taken over, that the team looks apart. There's a system, there's an implementation that's trying to get to it, and execution will eventually come. But it's important that players know what to do and what their movements are. So very early in the game against Puerto Rico, you're going to see a really good possession play from the Armada back line. And I want you to focus on the positioning of the 2 holding midfields, playing a 4-2-3-1, protection from Kevon George and Maripu, and eventually start looking at Anthony Wallace as the left back on the top of your screen. And Matt Boehner's not even in the screen because he sets up, he really stretches out the pressure. Maripu and Kevon do a good job. You can start seeing here where Matt Boehner is really just a passing option, and because you're still very well protected and the 3 guys in the midfield, allows them to stretch out the Puerto Rico's pressure, allows from good passing opportunities, good angles of play. Once again, Matt Boehner high up the field, could have been a foul. But if you watch, even when they get dispossessed, Armada in great defensive position. Anthony Wallace coming back, Maripu here, and you got good recovering players. Zach there complaining about the foul, but play on. Really not a threatening situation for Puerto Rico. You look at the numbers there, great position, right? Well, what eventually happens as the game goes, and this is what ended up being the first goal for the Armada. Same thing, good position from Maripu and Kevon George, and you can start seeing here Matt Boehner getting himself high and forward. You still have good options to come into the ball from the 2 guys. Anthony Wallace doing a great job of staying out wide, and you can see Kevon George there. Hand, get the ball out wide. Let's keep playing. Maripu comes in, great exchange inside. And you start seeing he freezes up the defense. They don't really know what to do. Are we going long? Charles Alondo is in a good long position. You can see J.J. Johnson keeping Jamal Johnson. Good exchange. Matt Boehner Charles Alonso, great finish. At the end of the day, you have to have final product. But the combination, the way that they're playing, Armada players seem very confident in what they're doing right now.
One of the other things I note in there is that in the early stages, you showed that was the 4th minute with a high press. You can't high press all game long, and when the Armada passed and maintained possession for a length of time against that high press, really gave them an opportunity to exploit it after the press kind of pulled back.
Well, in possession, there's got to be a purpose to it. And certainly the purpose that you can see in Coach Lari's team is to stretch teams out. And as if they want to press you, they can't press the entire game. So can you get them side to side, and can you create good, positive angles so the passing becomes a little bit easier?
Going to be interesting to see. Rayo OKC did a lot of high press in Oklahoma City a couple of weeks ago. We'll see if that happens on Saturday at Community First Park. Mauricio, thanks so much. All right, more to come straight ahead. The Analyst Roundtable. We're going to discuss what to expect from the Armada in the final 8 matches of the season. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff right around the corner. Time is running out for you to get your buy one, get one Armada FC tickets from Subway. Do what these guys did. Derek Gebhardt, Danny Barrow, and Alex Dixon go into a local Subway, order the Armada FC meal deal. You get your sub, you get your drink, you get your meal, and then you get a voucher for buy one, get one free tickets for any of the remaining Armada FC home matches. Do it now, and we'll see you out at Community First Park.
Players that you can switch around, and we're going to be very strong.
We saw a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups.
All right, back here on the Analyst Roundtable, Mauricio Ruiz and David Hayes. The club parted ways with Pascal Million and Junior Sandoval this past week, kind of streamlined the roster. From a coaching standpoint, what's the impact?
I mean, the impact, I think, they've simplified the game a little bit. And sometimes you have players like Sandoval and Pascal that are very talented, but they just don't fit in with the system. And the unfortunate part is every time you have a new coach, somebody's going to go majority of the time because you're not doing well. And it's unfortunate, but I think for them to simplify the game, I think Sandoval and Pascal are more of freelancing. They just go at it and they play it, and we need more structure.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the biggest decision with those two guys, that they don't necessarily fit a very specific role. They have a unique skill set, but you've seen Sandoval used as a left winger, attacking mid on the right. And when you have too many players that are somewhat alike or have the same, it becomes complicated. Too many options is not a good option to have. So I think with the limited roster allows coach to really stay more consistent with the players that he's going to use.
Yeah, fewer guys to keep happy at the same. There's only so many minutes to go around as well. We have to keep that in mind. Let's look around the NASL. We know Indy's already in after winning the spring season championship. Who are the other 3 teams that are going to be playing in the NASL championship?
Yeah, we get tired of saying this, but the Cosmos just constantly, they stay up there every single year, every single semester in the season. So Cosmos, I think, is probably a lock-in. Edmonton continues to do all the right things, but I think the team that's sneaking in there is the new franchise is Miami. I think with their purchases, their aggressiveness, they seem to be the one team that's, out of the other teams that are fighting for it, probably the better chance one.
And they're 4 points out of that 4th spot right now.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be obviously Cosmos, Indy, Edmonton, and Miami's going to squeak through.
And we'll keep an eye as well on Tampa and Fort Lauderdale, who are both even with Miami, those 3 teams in the state of Florida. What do you want to see Saturday against Rayo OKC?
I want to see a team that continue to develop an identity. I think, since Coach Lowry has been in, you've seen a team that's more consistent, a team that has a better vibration on the field. I think it's a matter of time, especially coming back at home. There's going to be a breakout game at some point. Like they just played Rayo OKC a couple weeks ago. I think they're excited to come home, know what they're playing up against, and really just express themselves and kind of have a breakout 3-0 game, 4-1 game. I think it will go a long way going into the last 8 games of the season.
Yeah, I want to protect ourselves early, and I want to not give up set pieces because we gave up too many against Rayo before. And I just want to see us just keep, closing up the gaps, putting a full game together, and then I think the goals will come.
David Hayes, Mauricio Ruiz, thanks so much. Coming up, a look ahead to what's to come this week as the Armada come back to Community First Park for the first time in 5 weeks. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
Saturday at Community First Park, the Armada have a rematch with Rayo OKC. Just 2 weeks ago, Jacksonville went to Oklahoma City, fell 3-2 in a hotly contested contest in Oklahoma. Goals by both Tyler Ruthven and Charles Ilundu on a PK. It'll be the 3rd time that the Armada face Rayo OKC. Each of the 2 previous matches won by the expansion club. This one will be the final match between these 2 clubs this year.
And here are the details for the match on Saturday. Metro PCS presenting. It is Hispanic Heritage Night. There'll be Latin music and food trucks beforehand outside the stadium. 7 o'clock kickoff. Our coverage begins at 6:30. You can go online to armadafc.com for tickets or call 844-2-ARMADA. And remember, you can always get the very latest on the Armada online 24/7 at armadafc.com. And you can catch us on radio, Sports Radio 930, the Armada Coaches Show Mondays at 6, and the Armada Soccer Show Wednesdays at 6. We'll have coverage of the Armada and Rayo OKC Saturday here on CW17 starting at 6:30. We thank you for joining us. We leave you now with a look at the Armada with the Caden Project, bringing a little warmth and friendship to some kids in need. We'll see you next time right here on Armada Kickoff.
Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Dream Finders Homes, the mark of a quality home.